Hello, we are now going to make this candy cane. So you're going to need a 15 centimetre piece of aluminium wire. This is 2 millimetres wide. You'll need some 5 millimetre cord. Now I've got 4 pieces. If you have 4 millimetre cord, you can use that, but have 5 pieces. So you've got roughly 20 millimetres in the centre. I hope that makes sense. So 4 times 5 is 20, but if you use 4 times 5 is 20 as well. Then you need 270 centimetres of 2 millimetre red macramé cord. Then I'm using 60 centimetres of white macramé, 1 millimetre white. This is wax cotton, but don't worry, whatever you've got. I'll be using that for the stripes. Then I've got 50 centimetres of cord. Now this is white with some silver running through it to make the hanging strand. Okay, so we only need on our board at the moment. Let me move him over there. Right, I'll go that way so you can see. So we've got our central cords, which literally are going to form a filler. And then we are going to make a gathering knot. Definitely going to have to move that, I'm afraid. Right. I want you to be able to see the ends of this as well. Now I've gone the wrong way, sorry. Okay. Now, I've laid the cord there. Can you see how it's hanging off the end there? I want that to happen. I need some gap. I actually want this to be a little bit longer, that end. You need a bit of length because you've got to pull it. So just bear in mind to have it hanging over. So we're going to start by making around these 4 cords a gathering knot. So take all the cords together. Now a gathering knot, take the long cord that's left and we're going to wrap it around it. It doesn't matter if you go clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now I prefer to hold my cords. Right, just going to move my hand down. Can you see I'm moving my hand down gently? We're not going to start right at the very end because we want these little tassels coming out. So your long cord's going to go under, over, and then round and pull slightly. Right, the next one, line up beside the one you've just done. 1. And we just carry on going round, get the tail out the way for approximately 40 wraps, or 2/3 of the way is what we're aiming for. Okay. What you want to be doing each time you wrap round, can you see I'm taking it very slowly? You don't want to be able to see any of your underneath cords. Okay. So you don't want it looking like that, for example. Okay. You can easily unwrap. See, once we've got a couple on, it's easy to do. We want them nice and gentle, not overlapping each other, just gently beside each other. See, I have a slight gap there. I should be able just to push that with my finger. Yes, I do bite my nails. And just keep going. So as I said, for about 40, we will be going up for that. Now, your piece of aluminium wire, once you have done a few wraps, so I want you to put that in the centre, okay? And then we're going to start wrapping around that. We need that to form our bend. So it'll just become another. There we are. You're getting in my way, you little devil. It doesn't matter where it sits, as long as it's in the centre. Right, I'm going to speed up a wee bit. but we just prove, go round. Can you see how nice I've got it? So I can see one little gap, so I'm not perfect. Okay, all the way around. Okay. Don't think we're 2/3 of the way up yet. It's mainly done on eyesight. Why we're aiming for 2/3 is to do our hanger. Okay. Right. You can push the aluminium wire down if you feel it's not being bound in properly. Okay. Can you see I've got a little white gap there? Yeah, I'll just try. We'll be able to hide some of them. Okay. Right, I am now going to introduce, this might be too long, and I've got a knot in it. Okay. Yep, this is far too long. Okay, so I folded it in half. This is going to be the hanging cord that will hang from your tree, your door, wherever you're going to hang this from. So I'm going to introduce it there. Might pull it down a little bit. What I want you to think about when placing your hanging cords is how much is going to stick out. What we do need to do though is wrap it in as well, like we wrapped in the aluminium wire. Don't worry about this sticking out because we can trim that. 1, 2. 3. So you've got more that you're wrapping in at the moment, okay? If you have got some wire cutters, you may wish to cut your... Right, I've wrapped that in a few times. I think that's a long enough hanging cord, don't you? At the moment. So we move that down to there. Okay. We'll carry on wrapping the red round, but we won't include. Now, can you see how that's hanging out? Your hanger's hanging out. All right. One, two. And just carry on wrapping round now, like we were earlier. Okay. Until you basically run out of cotton. Maybe I should have made this a bit smaller. But hey ho. Right, so now we're going to finish the gathering knot off. So take the big loop, put your little piece of cord that you've been wrapping round off, and then at the other end, your tail that's hanging down, you need to pull. Now, can you see it, the bottom is starting to move? It's getting smaller, this loop up here. There we go. So what will be happening? Right, I hope that doesn't happen. Make sure you hold on to that tail, that end. This cord will be coming down and hiding in here. Can you see the loops getting smaller? It's whizzing around my thumb. It's a bit of a mess at the moment, that end. So we need just to tidy it up, push it back. That's it. carry on through. And what will happen, this knot here, give it another little tug, will go under. Okay? So I'll be back with you in just one moment. Right, sorry, I had to go and get my scissors and trimmers. Right, so this cord here in the middle is going to be trimmed. Be careful not to cut your red cord. We'll trim that. That's nice there. Then, with my wire snippers, I'm going to trim this aluminium wire. So this is a reason to try and push it down a bit further. It'll be going in the bin. Okay. Now, what you can do with the aluminium wire in there is you can make your bend. And can you see where your hanger's going to go? Might not like it there. Okay, so we will trim this red cord, that end. Oh, I need to trim that end. Just trim them off. You can comb them out. The length is up to you. It's up to you if you want a bit of red sitting through. I quite like the bit of red. Right, let's put that all to one side. You can use these bits for stuffing toys. That's probably not a long enough length for me to use again, but it can do as toy stuffing as long as you're not making stuff that has to be CE marked, but it would be suitable for little things, definitely. Okay, so now that's done, we've got our hanger. We haven't got our stripes. So you have some 1mm white cord. You need to thread your needle with it. There should be a big-eyed needle. I'm using an embroidery needle. And what I'm going to do is just come up a couple of things. Now, I did say 60 centimetres you'll need of this cord. I don't know if you can see, I hope you can, I've actually kept mine joined to my reel, just so I cut down on how much I waste. So all you're going to be doing with this, you only need the needle to push it through each end. So we've gone through the bottom, and then we're just going to wrap it round by hand to make the traditional stripes. The distance between them is up to you. Okay, whether you want big stripes, thin stripes. If you've got any white gaps, it's a good idea to try and put this cord in with them. There we are. And it is definitely a case of practice makes perfect with this. Right, my needle's come off the end. Okay, 1, 2. Just when you get up to your hanger, just make sure it doesn't get in the way. I've actually got just enough. So let me put my needle back on. I'm not very good at threading needles. Because it's such a big eye, it fell off. This is a blunt embroidery needle that I'm using. Okay, maybe I should go a bit nearer the edge. So hopefully you're learning all the things not to do as well as what to do. Right, now it's threaded back on. I've only got a little bit. Just go under and pull it through. Pull it through into the centre. There we go. And then trim that and trim that. Okay, let's see, we should have a comb here. So then you might not want the reds. You can comb out your ends. I don't like these macrame combs. I much prefer a pet comb, but you do get them in different tooth sizes. So I use one that's for rabbits, but again, they come in different tooth sizes. Some are better than others. And that's your macrame candy cane. Oh, there's a few more bits. After brushing, you might want to retrim. Let me move all this off of here. Out the way, move my whiskers away. So here's one we've just created. There we go. And that's our original, and that's what we've just made. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. Bye now.